What's up, you guys, man? This is Love versus the Reality of Love podcast, man. Thank you for being here, man. This is the 99th show. Show 100 is going to be here Friday, man. Clap that up for that, man. Excited for that accomplishment. So, yeah, man. Hey, got big things planned. Listen, y'all. We going back to one channel. We're just going to go back to one channel. I tried the two-channel thing. Nothing really came out of it. I actually like having everything on one channel because I can manage everything. Just know that content is going to be all over this channel. So y'all just be prepared and you take in everything. No diddy. But yeah, man, let's talk. So today, I'm going to piss off a lot of people. Specifically mothers. I'm sorry. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. Y'all are the most incredible women in the world. Shout out to my mom personally. The most incredible woman in the world. Not just the city. The world. But it's y'all fault. And people, what do you mean it's our fault? Well, you want to know why women are getting less and less, black women are getting less and less married, and they're ending up single with 1,500 cats and lonely and everything, right? It's because that black women raise their children with a mentality of independence without teaching them how to be a wife, without teaching them how to be submissive, without just teaching them basic fundamentals and values when you are in a relationship. We're the only race that does this. We're the only race to have an issue with teaching our women how to be wives. That's the only place where a girl can learn how to be a wife is from the mother. So to me, therein lies the issue. Therein lies your problem. Women have to begin to teach their daughters how to be wives, how to clean, cook, take care of a home. You know, a lot of women are not homemakers. They be home wreckers. And that's not mean that you're cheating or doing anything like that. You're not, when I mean home wreckers, I'm saying the home is a wreck and you haven't cleaned up, you're not, just, it's a certain thing about a woman's touch that gives the house a home feel. Makes a man want to continue to keep coming home every night. Now, men are not complicit in this issue as well, because we were forced out of the homes. But then it was up to the mothers to continue to teach their daughters how to be wives. It's okay for them to be independent. There's nothing wrong with a self-sufficient woman. The problem is just a self-sufficient woman, an independent woman, if she can't flip the switch when she's in a relationship, she's going to end up by herself. And that's just a fact. Because you have to be able to turn that independent switch off and become my wife. You know, the homemaker, and like I said, you can help each other out when it comes to, other stuff, the kitchen and everything like that. But a wife just has a certain touch, certain thing that is only she can do. And we could try to replicate it as men, but nah. You can tell when a woman has had her hands on, on either your house or you're decorating, whatever. But moms, I'm sorry, it's your fault. It's 80s and 90s mothers. It's your fault. You kind of taught these girls now that it's all about being independent, standing on your own, doing this by yourself, doing that by yourself. You don't need no man. You need to be independent. You don't need him. Be independent. Mothers, we should want better for our daughters. Right, mothers? Y'all should want better for your daughters. Because at the end of the day, the child is supposed to supersede the parent. If you single with nobody and you lonely, why would you want to keep your kid like that? Shouldn't you want them to get married and have a happy life? You gotta weigh that out and understand that just because it happened to you don't mean it's gonna happen to your daughter. A lot of times you have a lot of parents out here parenting out of fear. When you parent from fear, you can instill certain things and your fears onto them. You can transfer that fear onto them, and now they're out here perpetuating something that they shouldn't, and then it passes down again. Then it's to the next generation, then the next, and it's like, as mothers, y'all just have to understand that y'all are super important to the women that are out here today. And the product that you're putting out there, take it back, redo it. Find a way to you have to find a way to balance it. Now, there's nothing wrong with it being an independent woman. I don't want that to get misconstrued today. But there's a problem when an independent woman can't turn it off and turn into a wifey. Turn into just my wife. You know what I'm saying? Just my wife. All other races, if you think about it, they actually teach them how to do that kind of thing. They tell you what to say, basically what to say, how to say it, how you should approach a man, how you don't approach a man. Just the way they do everything. I think that, to be honest with you, if women were to just look and see the landscape out here, they would be in shock of how much trickle-down effect happens when it comes to their daughters. I think mothers are super important to this whole thing that we call life. They're very essential. This was a conversation that I was thinking about earlier, and it's like, man, we are literally the only race that teaches our daughters to be that way. You don't need him. You don't need him. You got your own. You a bad boss. You bleep, bleep, bleep. You this, you that. And it's one of those things where that's the facade you putting on. But we know the real. just know that we love you, mothers, but y'all gotta do better by y'all kids. Y'all kids out here growing up with a disadvantage, man. It's a huge disadvantage. This is a huge disadvantage raising them that way, because they get out here and then not only that, now they're expecting things. They're expecting things from the situation, you know, that they're in currently with their man. Like, they expect him to, you got to spend $400-500 to be with me. You got to drop this, you got to drop that, you got to drop this, drop that. And you teaching them, it's either you teaching them to be independent, or they're out here using men as crutches. So you gotta have a fine balance. It gotta be a balance. That was my whole point of my show today. Listen, man, mothers, we love you, but it is your fault for the way these women are acting today. And it's men's fault as well for paying for it, for sponsoring it, and whatever else we was doing with it. So listen, thank you for joining today. Thank you for being here. This is Love versus Reality of Love podcast. I will see you guys Friday for the 100th episode. Until next time, peace.